The Scarlets ended their pre-season schedule on the wrong end of a 4021 defeat at King's home, conceding 6 tries to an impressive Gloucester side. So with 3 warm-up outings in the bag, in what shape are Wayne Pivac's squad ahead of the defence of the Guinness Pro-14 crown, which starts at home to the Southern Kings in Llanelli on Saturday? Rob Lloyd looks at the talking points to emerge from a tough night in the West Country. Dublin hangover lingering. A pre-season setback shouldn't induce any severe headaches, but afterwards Pivac admitted his side may not have fully shaken off the hangover of their glorious Dublin success. In particular, the Scarlets' defence, which was such an integral part of their semi-final win over Leinster and thumping of Munster in the final, has been found wanting in recent weeks, with 4 tries conceded against Bristol and another 6 at King's home. The West Walians also failed to make the most of their first-half dominance, scoring just the 1 try despite laying siege to the home line for long periods, and with the Cherry and Whites having been reduced to 14 men with flanker Lewis Ludlow in the sin bin. Wyn Jones of Scarlets is tackled by Gareth Denman and Mark Atkinson of Gloucester. We had about 60% possession and we would expect to score 20-odd points with that much ball and in those parts of the field, so obviously we have a lot to work on, said Pivac in his post-match debrief. Gloucester showed us what we need next week. They showed determination in defence in that first half and dominated the second. It was quite embarrassing. If there was a hangover from the final, we should have snapped out of it. There are a lot of things we will address to be ready for the Kings. Rob Evans of Scarlets runs in to score try. International cavalry return. A significant positive for the Scarlets was the sight of Wales international forwards Jake Ball and Rob Evans making their return from injury. Ball, who has been recovering from shoulder surgery, produced some trademark carries in the 40 minutes he was on the field, while Evans was a lively and feisty second-half replacement, finishing off his side's length of the field's second try with a dummy and sidestep to the whitewash. John Barclay, who has been in Scotland with the national camp, was another to make his first appearance of pre-season. Morgan Williams of Scarlets takes on Billy Burns and Mark Atkinson of Gloucester. Lee Halfpenny ticks another box. The Wales and British Lions fullback took part in the pre-match warm-up at King's home, heightening speculation that he could feature against the Kings. Halfpenny is keen to get back on the field, linking up with his new teammates early as he looks to make an instant impression at Parkway Scarlets. We wanted him to be part of the warm-up, so if we choose to put him out there next week he knows what to expect, explained Pivac. It was another box-ticking exercise for him. With Johnny McNichol looking sharp in attack, a back three of the Kiwi, Halfpenny and Steph Evans is a mouth-watering prospect. Lee Halfpenny take part in the warm-up at King's home as a sleeping giant awakening in the West Country. Gloucester have long been underachievers in the Aviva Premiership. They are a club blessed with a strong support base and have had the luxury of some big-name acquisitions down the years, but have struggled to punch their weight. The King's home hierarchy have brought in South African coach Johan Ackerman from Super Rugby finalists. The Lions is the latest man to try and coax them out of their slumber, and on the evidence of Friday night, he is already making an impact. As Pivac pointed out, sport has a long history of sides raising their game when there's a new voice in the dressing room, and Gloucester had a sharp edge in defence and opened up the Scarlets with a smart offloading game. Ackerman transformed the Lions into a Super Rugby force. Can he awaken Gloucester? Pivac hopeful on injured pair Stephen Jones and Wayne Pivac monitor events at Gloucester. The Scarlets were without influential open side James Davies and new Wales cap Steph Evans on Friday night, with both nursing injuries ahead of the opener against the Kings. Davies, the league's turnover king, has had an injection to ease an issue with his shoulder, while Evans is resting a hamstring niggle. Both are hoping to be fit to take on the South Africans as the Scarlets look to start their title defence with a flourish. For those who had been looking to stake a late claim for a starting spot at Parkway Scarlets, it wasn't a night where individuals stood out, and you suspect there will be a familiar feel to Pivac's lineup when the South African new boys roll into town next Saturday.